Hi everyone, my name is Daniel and today I'm going to take you through my solution-focused coaching action plan. Traditional rivalries exist across all sporting codes through all levels of professional all the way down to grassroots sports. What is it about these rivalries that trigger athletes to divert from their proven performance and consistently fail against certain rivals? How do you overcome and prevent these triggers? So the reason why I've chosen this topic is to talk about my basketball team that I've coached for the past 6 years. We have seen the same team for 6 years in every final that you can think of, whether that was Metro Championships, State Championships, Under 14 Club Championships and National Championships. We have managed to beat them in regular season, pre-season, even in a semi-final game, but we haven't been able to defeat them when it's come to the big dance, so the gold medal games. And hopefully throughout this presentation, we'll be able to get some insight into the reasons why and how we can be better. So there are 5 key issues that I've identified, and they are mental toughness, emotional distress, player performance, coach confidence, and system belief. We are going to go through some strategies as we go through the issues, and as you can see there, each of them have multiple strategies that can help you enhance the player within the situation as well as the coach. So we're going to go through. The first one is mental toughness. This is facing traditional rivals means they know your weakness. Improving mental toughness can reduce or eliminate the impact. How? As you can see, there's 4 points there. Mindfulness. There are 2 types of ways to practice mindfulness: single point and contemplative. Single point mindfulness is the way I feel is going to work best for this group of athletes that I've been able to coach. And that is the commitment to focus on one thing. And if your mind wanders, the ability to refocus. There are 4 stages of breathing that can help you with this, and they are to inhale, pause, exhale, and pause. This is a way that I definitely use, and it's something that I'm going to continue to use, and that is through training or through bringing players to me during games and timeouts or foul shots. This is something that will help the player relax and then refocus on the task at hand. The next one is emotional distress. So traditional rivals know how to press your buttons. This is something that has happened in every game. Didn't matter if it was pre-season or if it was season or finals. They knew how to press my best players' buttons. This issue, or the biggest issue in this to overcome, is to avoid any player meltdowns as well as coach meltdowns as well within this state. So to avoid the meltdown, there's many different things that you can do to avoid it. So one of the key things is managing anger. So that is to circumvent the style of anger. So there's an anger cycle which goes for 5 phases, and they are the antecedents, so the start of the stirring of emotions, so it starts to not go your way. The escalation, so your body is preparing for fight or flight mode. The crisis, so not able to make rational judgments or have rational thoughts. The recovery phase, so your anger starts to diminish and you start to work your way back into some normality. And then the restoration phase, so that's your ability to be calm and reflect on your actions, and then put anything into play that can help you move forward from your actions. Player performance. Keeping the players on track and not divert from the system. Enabling bench or role players to step up when needed. How do you do this? As you can see again, there's 4 points. to look at, and here we're going to look at competition readiness. So removing unknown or unexpected situations. So that comes from simulation training. So at practice, going through any situation that you will come across against that specific team, pre-performance routines. So how you can practice your own performance. So that's in a training session, in warm-up lines, whatever is going to help you, and imagine you completing the task at hand. So whatever the task is for you personally as a player, that's you being able to imagine yourself doing that. So giving yourself some sort of indicator of that. Coach confidence. So avoiding the meltdown, as I said before in previous slides, is crucial for coaches as it is for athletes. In difficult situations, coaches must ensure to show trust in their athletes. That is one of the biggest pieces of information I've been able to gather in my time, and as I go through all the information that I read. How do you do this? Again, 4 points. We're going to focus on reflection. Reflection is something that you can do with your players or without your players. So watching film, pre or post game, that is a fantastic way to construct some sort of criticism, even for yourself. So that is constructive criticism can be given to players and coaches. So that's your own staff giving you constructive criticism, how to get better during games, as well as you giving it to your players. You need to be extremely positive with your players, right? And instill confidence in their ability to understand not only understand what you're saying, but come up with a conclusion to it as well. And if that is not able to happen via them, you are there to help them and be constructive with them. You need to have a great level of self-efficacy and confidence. So be prepared. Be prepared at the highest level that you can be prepared at. So whether that's watching film with your athletes, watching it with yourself, scout notes, anything that you can think of that you can give to your players to have confidence, as well as yourself have confidence when you go into games. You practice these strategies with your players, and you practice these strategies as well with your coaching staff that you have. How are we going to handle when you're down 5 with 30 seconds to go potentially? As a coaching staff, having confidence that you've practiced those situations in this as well. System belief. It doesn't matter what sport you're in, you have to believe in the system that is being taught to you via your coaching staff. Belief in the chosen system or buy-in is required to avoid detrimental divergence under pressure. Building team culture is one of the biggest things you can do if you have a team from under 12s to under 18s, like I'm talking about, being able to develop a culture that no matter what, we're going to be okay as well. So that leads me into motivation. So here is a diagram about the self-determination theory, and this is athlete-centric. Athletes are in control of their own destiny. So we try and empower them as well to do that. So make the environment as autonomy supportive as possible. Help them do what they need to do. Consider the athlete's perspective. That is something that I would suggest that you do as something that I do every single practice, every single game. Because we are coaches from the side, the players are the ones playing, and sometimes they have a good feel for it, as well as they see the game because they're involved in it. So they get to see things. Allow the athlete to make choices in training and competition, like I said, to provide them social support as well. Holistic approach. So both players and coaches have a growth mindset. You need to be willing to listen and grow as a person throughout this phase. As you can see, as we went through all the slides, that implementing strategies and addressing multiple issues are the same throughout each slide. So as you can see there was 4 points that I took you through as you went through the slides. And they tend to show up in each area. Because a lot of these things are, I wouldn't say the same, but extremely similar when you're talking about an athlete becoming better and overcoming certain situations in games. And these are things that we need to ensure that we are doing. So going through athletes that I've been able to coach in my time, mental toughness, for instance, is something that, especially in this group, we did lack. We didn't have the ability within our own mindsets, and even myself as a coach at that time, to think about what we can do to move forward. How can we beat them? And throughout this process, there was a lot of negative, because that's the easy way to fall into it. But having constructive feedback, having positive reinforcement is something that I realized after going through this presentation is something that is extremely crucial moving forward with this group. Not only in this, in the realm of sport, but in general life, you need to be able to construct something and move forward. The use of practical systems to implement these strategies. I can't comment enough on how important training is in this sense. That is something that you can do and work with your systems and have the ability to adjust or tweak your systems throughout that. So being able to practice situations and circumstances that you're definitely going to see in a game, not only as players, but as coaches as well. Coaches, we have always been able to go with 2 teams, assistant coaches coach. That was something that I was able to experience when I was at the higher level coaching, in the pros or state teams. We always involved that. That was something that was super important, and that allowed me as a coach as well to really reflect on players and reflect on my coaching staff and how we can all work together to become better. Set a clear framework and stick to it. Setting a clear framework from day dot with this group is something that I think I could have done far better, and sticking to it. Now, when you do that, you make tweaks throughout it, but it's your core set of values that underlie everything that your players will always fall back to. And throughout this presentation and throughout my time coaching this group, that's something that I definitely could have done better. Steering to those key core sets of values is something that I feel we as a group didn't do very well, and that ultimately falls on myself to be able to do that. So having my assistant coaches as well give me feedback or constructive criticism, I always instill the power in them to be able to do that, because it's all about, again, having a growth mindset. This is my presentation, and I hope you guys and girls got enough out of it. Happy to answer any questions that anyone would like to ask me about it. Thank you.